There was once an old castle in the middle of a vast, thick wood. In it there lived an old woman quite alone, but she was a witch. By day she made herself into a cat or a screech owl, but regularly at night she became a human being again. In this way, she was able to decoy wild beasts and birds, which she would kill and boil or roast. If any man came within 100 paces of the castle, he was forced to stand still. He could not move from the place till she gave the word of release. But if an innocent maiden came within the circle, she changed her into a bird and shut her up in a cage, which she carried into a room in the castle. She must have had 7,000 cages of this kind, all containing pretty birds. Now there was once a maiden called Jorinda, who was more beautiful than all other maidens. She had promised to marry a very handsome youth named Joringel, and it was in the days of their courtship, when they took the greatest joy in being alone together, that one day they wandered out into the forest. "Take care," said Joringel. "Do not let us go too near the castle." It was a lovely evening. The sunshine glanced between the tree trunks of the dark greenwood, while the turtle doves sang plaintively in the old beech trees. Yet Jorinda sat down in the sunshine and could not help weeping and bewailing, while Joringel, too, soon became just as mournful. They both felt as miserable as if they had been going to die. Gazing around them, they found they had lost their way and did not know how they should find the path home. Half the sun still appeared above the mountain, half had sunk below. Joringel peered into the bushes and saw the old walls of the castle quite close to them. He was terror-stricken and became pale as death. Jorinda was singing, "My birdie with its ring so red sings sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. My love will mourn when I am dead. Tomorrow, morrow, morrow." Joringel looked toward her, but she had changed into a nightingale who sang sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. A screech owl with glowing eyes flew 3 times around her and cried 3 times, "Shoo, hoo, hoo! Shoo, hoo, hoo! Shoo, hoo, hoo!" Joringel could not stir. He stood like a stone without being able to speak or cry or to move hand or foot. The sun had now set. The owl flew into a bush, out of which appeared almost at the same moment a crooked old woman, skinny and yellow. She had big red eyes and a crooked nose whose tip reached her chin. She mumbled something, caught the nightingale, and carried it away in her hand. Joringel could not say a word nor move from the spot, and the nightingale was gone. At last the old woman came back and said in a droning voice, "Greeting to thee, Zekiel. When the moon shines on the cage, unloose the captive, Zekiel." Then Joringel was free. He fell on his knees before the witch and implored her to give back his Jorinda, but she said he should never have her again, and went away. He pleaded, he wept, he lamented, but all in vain. "Alas, what is to become of me?" said Joringel. At last he went away and arrived at a strange village where he spent a long time as a shepherd. He often wandered around about the castle, but did not go too near it. At last he dreamt one night that he found a blood-red flower, in the middle of which was a beautiful large pearl. He plucked the flower and took it to the castle. Whatever he touched with it was made free of enchantment. He dreamt also that by this means he had found his Jorinda again. In the morning when he awoke, he began to search over hill and dale in the hope of finding a flower like this. He searched till the 9th day, when he found the flower early in the morning. In the middle was a big dewdrop, as big as the finest pearl. This flower he carried day and night till he reached the castle. He was not held fast as before when he came within the 100 paces of the castle, but walked straight up to the door. Joringel was filled with joy. He touched the door with the flower, and it flew open. He went in through the court and listened for the sound of birds. He went on and found the hall, where the witch was feeding the birds in the 7,000 cages. When she saw Joringel, she was angry, very angry. She scolded him and spat poison and gall at him. He paid no attention to her, but turned away and searched among the bird cages. Yes, there were many hundred nightingales, but how was he to find his Jorinda? While he was looking about in this way, he noticed that the old woman was secretly removing a cage with a bird inside, and was making for the door. He sprang swiftly towards her, touched the cage and the witch with the flower, and then she no longer had power to exercise her spells. Jorinda stood there, as beautiful as before, and threw her arms around Joringel's neck. After that, he changed all the other birds back into the maidens again, and went home with Jorinda, and they lived long and happily together.